Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game Beyond the Game presents Talk That Talk, inspiring conversations with professional athletes where we inspire our audience as we explore finding vision and purpose in life and discuss tools to overcome life's transitions. I am Sam Pearson II, your MC, and we're joined with founder Prince Daniels Jr. Prince, how you doing? Let us know real quick.
Man, I tell you, as always, I'm blessed. Another opportunity to be able to talk to a professional athlete, former professional athlete, but still, in my eyes, an athlete. You know, so It's a great opportunity. Ready to inspire people. We talk that talk and just talk about the importance of life and how we transition in life and become the best versions of ourselves. So, thank you for this opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. Now it's time for me to introduce our very special guest, Alvin Scioneaux Jr. was born and raised in St. John Parish, Louisiana, currently a mechanical engineer at Northrop Grumman with a master's degree in mechanical engineering from San Diego State University. He serves on the board of the National Society of Black Engineers, NSBE, while also being a traveling public speaker where he engages with various schools and programs. And if being an engineer is not enough because he's an underachiever, apparently not at all, Alvin was a former NFL linebacker with the LA Chargers and now serves as a fitness coach, helping people on their fitness and nutritional journey, and as a model and an actor where he has worked on various promotional, commercial, and theatrical events. Alvin has gone from receiving over $2 million in scholarships, being inducted into his collegiate Hall of Fame, and playing in the NFL to now philanthropy, giving back toward various scholars and other athletes. He is a legend in his own right. Please welcome Alvin Scioneaux Jr. Welcome, man.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Man, great to have. So officially, how are you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Even during the pandemic, a lot of craziness going on, but you always have to count your blessings. It always can be worse. So I always just like to walk in blessings. Live.
That's what I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna jump right into this thing, man. So, mechanical engineer, how did that happen? NFL linebacker, mechanical engineering. How did you fall in love with mechanical engineering and that become your thing?
It initially started with my dad. He's actually an electrical engineer, and just growing up, he would always bring me with him for our rental properties, whether it was fixing just the AC units or even working on cars, repairing like brakes and the oil filter, just changing different things, just a little maintenance around the house and along with the cars. And he always introduced me to different hands-on aspects, fixing things, taking it apart, putting it back together, and it's still working. A lot of people at that part, you can put it back together, but does it still work? So, I just grew up around engineering type of environment, fixing things, working on different things. And that initially sparked my interest in engineering and eventually led me to get my master's in mechanical engineering.
Wow, congratulations. And how does that feel to have your master's degree in mechanical engineering? What's that feeling?
It feels great. I mean, advanced degree, not many people in America, I think it's, I don't know the exact number, but around 4%, something like that, that have an advanced degree in the country. So you're definitely in a tier of your own that it has its benefits in a lot of different ways, depending on where you want to take your career. But for me, it definitely helped me get into an actual engineering role specifically. So my people that don't know, my undergrad is actually not in engineering at all. And for most engineering positions, you need an engineering degree.
Right. So what's your undergrad degree in?
My undergrad degree is in physics and math.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Whatever. Carry on.
Whatever.
Not a big deal. No, amazing.
So that definitely helped me get into my actual mechanical engineering role now in the aerospace and defense industry, and it's been nothing short of a blessing for me.
Yo, congratulations, man! Great to have you here and taking some time, to spend with us. So, how did the NFL happen? I'm sure there's a long and a short version. You can find yourself right in the middle. How did the NFL happen, or your dream of wanting to be there or to be able to accomplish it?
And before you start, does it have something to do with this big E that's on your chest?
Doesn't have anything to do with that on your chest.
The E.
Great pickup. Great pickup.
I don't know who Yvette is, but Yvette said, "I love how you represent that East St. John High
School." Yes. Let the people know. East St. John School. It's in Reserve, Louisiana, a small town, St. John Parish, where I grew up, and that is where my football career pretty much began. Way back, 10 plus years ago, and from there at East St. John, that we had a lot of stud athletes from the offense and defense side of mine. So just to give you some perspective, we in the state of Louisiana, my freshman sophomore year, we were ranked number 1 in the state, which Louisiana is not your typical state, I might add. The highest per capita of athletes in the NFL of all 50 states. Okay, so just to throw that out there. And so East St. John was ranked, top in the state. We went undefeated one year, and just a lot of stud athletes all over on both sides of the ball. I was just a good athlete, nothing too crazy in high school, but I was good enough that I was able to receive a athletic football scholarship to Wofford College in South Carolina, D1 AA school. And that's what I did, the physics and math. And in football, I started blossoming a little bit more and came into myself a little bit more. So in college, I was all American, a lot of individual accolades, and we also won our conference a few times as well while I was there. So that's really when the accolades started to come in, and it was my junior year that I was an All-American the previous year. So going in, I wasn't in high school. I was just good, but nothing too spectacular, enough to get an athletic scholarship. And I was majoring in physics and math, so that was a lot of my time outside of football. It wasn't much of people doing my work for me. Not many people.
What are you talking about, Alvin?
Not many. So I'm just saying in general.
So are you saying that you actually took your ACT and SAT?
I did. I had to. It was definitely earned. I'll just say that. Not against. I'm not saying anything against anybody, but I definitely put the work in school wise and athletic wise. So I never really. It wasn't on my mind to. I wasn't 100% sure like I'm going to the NFL or this is definitely the track I want to take. It wasn't until like I said, my junior year where that self-belief really started to splurge and started to grow within me. And I can remember thinking to myself in my dorm, like, the NFL might be a viable option, and I even spoke with my head coach, Coach Ayers at Wofford, about the same situation, and he was telling me the similar things, keep on the straight and narrow, and you can definitely have a shot. And, so I played my last 2 years and, had 2 good years. And then at the end, I graduated December 2013, my 5th year, and was in contact with a lot of coaches, a lot of different teams, the whole pre-draft aspect, and things were looking good. I had my pro day, did well at my pro day, was linebacker, 230-ish pounds, hit 225. Yeah, of course, Prince. Had good measurements, hit 225 maybe 31 times, jumped about 40 inches vert, I wasn't able to run my 40 at my pro day, but later on at the Saints, they brought me on for like a workout.
Yeah.
And running 4.5s, basically my fastest was like high 4.48, but 4.5s generally. And so
give you a 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5 at 2:30.
The coaches be, they always like, you like, that was a 4.5. He was like, no, that's a 4.5.
4.5. They're gonna dog at least 0.01 second or something. But yeah, everything was pretty much coming together, and then that's when the Chargers called, San Diego Chargers at that time, and came on to rookie minicamp, and I was there. It was engineering and physics and all that was a past thought at that time. So yeah, that's basically how the journey from little old Louisiana, Laplace and Reserve, Louisiana at East St. John to slowly making my way to the NFL.
Man, shout outs to the boot and
shout outs to the boot,
and East St. John High School. That's awesome, man.
Shout out to the E.
Man, congratulations. Real quick, I'm going to pass it to Prince in a moment, but do you feel like there is any skill sets or things that you carried, let's say, from your studies in mechanical engineering to the football field that helped you be successful from one place to the other?
Any skill sets that transferred? Definitely the focus. That is certainly one. I mentioned in being a physics and math major, I didn't have much free time. So I've always been told that as a student athlete, there's three aspects of college: your athletics, your academics, and your social aspect. You only can do well at two of the three. Mm-hmm. So if you're a good athlete, mm-hmm. then if you want to have a good fun time, your schooling gonna suffer, and and likewise, rotating around. So for me, being in physics and math, I didn't have much choice to kind of slack off in that area, and you need to stay eligible anyway. So most people, if you have sense, you're gonna focus on your athletics, your academics first to stay eligible, and then your athletics to perform on the field. And so my typical day, we had morning workouts 6 a.m. to 6 to 8 or something like that. Had class throughout the day, had afternoon meetings, and then evening practice at 5, 6. I didn't get out there until maybe 8. Had late dinner, and then it's all physics and math schoolwork until maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. Get a few hours of sleep, and back at it again the next day.
Ooh, that's a grind.
It was a grind. Yeah, it wasn't. One thing about physics and math, it's not something you can just give an hour or two throughout the day and you good. It's far from that. So the focus, the discipline was definitely a huge part. I can remember vividly in the physics building doing work, and people hit me up, we about to go to this place, about to go there to check out this place. I'm like, well, the way these the way these physics problems set up, they not just one and done. So yeah, a lot of discipline in that regard, just staying focused on why I'm there. And that's something my dad mentioned from the get-go. Always remember why you're here. Talking about college, not to have fun.
Right. So Prince, I know Prince is at Georgia Tech, and also, in terms of the kind of institution it was, man, what thoughts do you have, Prince, as you hear Alvin speak of his experience and just knowing him in general?
Well, Alvin, I think I'm familiar. You have a big family, right? You come from a big family.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, the third of 8.
The third of 8. So
deep.
So
yeah.
The third of 8. So man, with having that many siblings, that many family members in one household, do you think it also played a role on your character development and your discipline that you put towards your efforts when you were in college?
Oh yes,
and going to the league as well.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing that jumps to mind real quick is just teamwork. Knowing how to on defense of the ball, being a linebacker, I got to work with my fellow linebackers, and then the D line, and then safeties, corners. We all one cohesive unit. I remember my defensive coach always say the defense is on a string. One person flow, everybody got to flow over with them. And growing up, that was very similar. A lot of characters under one household, so you have to quickly adapt to just having people around you. It's not just me. Like I'm the sole person on the show. You have to know how to work with others, have that communication, know how to share, know how to just come together collectively and get along and move toward whatever goal we have in place, which in football, of course, the championship. So which in college we did a couple of times as well for our conference championship. So that played a vital role in just the ability to engage and flow as a cohesive unit with others, teamwork wise.
Yep. Who is this man? Who is he? Do you know?
That's my mom. That's my mom.
What's
That's
up,
my mom? Yeah.
Mama, he
Mom,
over here. Teamwork makes
everyone's dream work.
I was gonna say teamwork makes the dream work, but she said everyone.
Everyone got to specify.
Got to specify, Mrs. Beth. Shout out to Mrs. Beth. How are you doing? You raised an amazing son, so I'm glad that you tuned in and you're watching. Man,
and mom said, don't forget about the records you broke also. So apparently, back to you, Prince. I'm sorry.
Don't forget about setting the school records. You said a school record in college or high school, man?
In college, I think it was like tackles for a loss and a few other maybe sacks. I didn't really keep up too much with the exact records.
Man, go ahead and boast and brag, man.
It was a few different records like that.
Okay.
Forced fumbles. I know forced fumbles. I think I'm still number one in that at the school in forced fumbles.
Prince, real quick. I'm cutting you off, Alvin. Prince, he literally was like, I was kind of a decent high school football player, nothing to take a stick at. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, this dude was breaking every record. Can we trust you, man? Can we trust Prince? Right. What do you think?
Man, come on! You don't have to be so modest today, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so of where your mindset is at. So everything is determined by your mindset, right? And it's great to definitely celebrate small wins and celebrate achievements in your life.
Yeah.
But at some point, there's a saying that make your next move your best move, so the rest of your life can be the best of your life, right?
Mm.
And that is profound, because I did well in the past, but I want my next move to be my best move, because the best of my life is the rest of my life in my future. So my records are great. I definitely enjoyed my entire football career from high school, college, and professionally. But now, I'm working on the next move, so we can blow up even more.
Well, you mentioned something about mindset, man, and I have a book coming out. It's called Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete.
Okay.
On my shoulder, and I had the opportunity to send it over to you, man. And it's mastering the balance between your power and peace. When did you say that you? One, I want to hear what you thought about the book, and two, when did you think that you found your power and your peace?
So I'll start with the book first. The book is great. I mean, people, if you don't have the Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete book, you need to grab that. Anytime storytelling, one key aspect is actual stories, right? So you can't have a storytelling session, which books are generally without stories. I love the stories that Prince put in there. The initial one about riding a tricycle and falling down, and then just having the determination to ride without the tricycle, the training wheels. Like, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Something so simple but have a profound impact on your overall growth. I definitely also like the details. I'm more of a detail oriented person. Just observant. And I like things, bam, 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 here, we're good to go. Just the meditation steps, like, it's very straightforward and simple. The Another part was just the areas of the brain and just breaking those down. Like it's very, very informative book. There's a lot we all can learn from reading it. So I encourage you all to grab a copy of that. As far as when did I figure out my mindfulness and just have that understanding, I'm still trying to do it.
I can tell from the back part.
Right. I mean, for me, I think it's an ever going process, right? So you always, every day, I always like to learn something new from a world perspective, and also learn something and work on something from my individual perspective. So I liken it to being the best you can be, right? So are you today the best person you can be? Most people say no. You're not right now, this moment, the best you will ever be right now. You always growing to be more. So just like that continual process of growing to be more, you're also growing to be more mindful of yourself at the same time. They go hand in hand. So, as far as when I develop that mindfulness, every day I'm trying to get more mindful of myself, more mindful of my surroundings, the world, how I can give back and nurture the next upcoming generation, and just make an impact, leave a legacy. Awesome. Daily process.
Appreciate that. You're a super thought out person, and you're thoughtful, and even your mention of the team and growing up with siblings and a family as a collective and understanding one another. I guess as you've grown and become more wiser in your days, what advice would you give the younger version of you, whether it be the high school version, the middle school what advice would you give the younger you that maybe hadn't had everything figured out or was struggling along the way? What would you tell that, Alvin?
The simple way would probably be it's worth it. It's worth it.
That's a good
the hot, Louisiana hot, right? So it could be 90, but it feels 110. The humidity is 110. The temperature 110. Everything 110. So the hot Louisiana practices is worth it. The staying after school or in college, the long hours of doing physics and math work, which nobody got time for that. It's worth it. The sacrifices, the countless hours just invested in myself, in my craft, is worth it. I think people, in regards to them just quitting or just going astray, it initially starts with them not understanding fully that what they're doing is worth it, and that's as soon as that thought clicks, or as soon as that starts growing in your mind, that's when slowly but surely you wither away, you get off track, sidetrack, and you start doing different things, because now you're wondering, now you're looking for that worth and that purpose of where you're doing and where you're going in life. So simplify, it is worth it, is what I would tell myself.
Man, thank you so very much for that piece of advice too. That's some advice for a lot of younger versions of ourselves and even present day. And we want to jump into the comment section as well, because we obviously have some folks that are watching, spending time with us. Patrice, she's showing you some love, and also mentioned how humble you were. So I guess that's real to the bone.
Yes, yes.
Beverly giving you the titanium thumbs up with the smile. I'm sure Beverly's a great person. I love it.
Oh yes, yes. Back home.
Oh really?
Friends.
Edward says the E is a good look. That came from Edward Desmond.
Oh yes.
And Sahar says, well said. Make your next move your best move. And that was strong. And what was the other part of that quote?
Make your next move your best move, so the rest of your life can be the best of your life.
So the rest of your life can be. Come on, it's not Sunday. We're going to preach anyway. All right. All right. If you have any questions for Alvin, make sure you throw them in the comment section, because we'll make sure to get to as many as we possibly can before we're done with the show as well.
Yes.
Patrice is a cousin. What's happening, cousin?
Yes, that's the fam. The fam is here.
I love it.
And if you have a question, make sure you do #ask, and that way we know that it's directed towards somebody. So we'll look to answer your question. keep it going.
Well, really quick, Alvin, how important is support? Now, it seems, to some it may not seem like a big deal, but you mentioned obviously your family, your cousin popping in, and all the love happening. Like, how important is in your transition or during transitions, is support, for those who are approaching their transition or dealing with their transition right now? How important is it, and how can they tap in to different levels of support?
Oh, the support is monumental. I mean, that really can make or break anyone in any given situation. For me, like I mentioned, I'm the third oldest of 8. I have very involved parents. My mother and father are always either going to the school. My mom actually works at the high school, so she's there every day. So like, there's no such thing as parent teacher conference. Like, she already there. It's just parent conference with everybody, right? So my parents are definitely highly involved in their children's upbringing, and my extended family always being supportive. I can remember in college we played Baylor, or I think it was my junior or senior year, and it was like the student section and then my family section. My family had their own section at Baylor Stadium in Texas. So that support is monumental. I would say a large reason, a big reason for people having the skills and the knowledge to make a big difference in the world comes down to that support, I would say. I've read, people talk about how like the cure for cancer is already made. The flying cars is already made. Like so many different technology and knowledge-based questions we may have. It's already in someone. It was just a matter of them having that support needed to get to that point, and without that support, they didn't grow and develop to get to that pivotal transition in history. And that is the transition, that is the development that we all must try to seek out and just immerse ourselves in, no matter whether it's family, blood, or non-blood related, friends, neighborhood, your team. There's many. I actually I have a video series on Instagram called A1 Minute, A1 Minute, and my topic a couple weeks ago was family, and I spoke on how in every aspect of life there is foundational aspect, which usually comes down to family. Parents are every child's first role models. Family is everybody's first support system, and oftentimes throughout our life they become the main support system that we have. And it is key for everyone just to immerse themselves in whatever support system they may have, whoever it may be, and just grow in that support system. You don't like, if you want to grow, if you have a garden, you're trying to grow your garden, the support system is the sun, the watering it, fertilizing. All those things are different support systems to help this seed become what it reaches full potential as a plant or a tree, whatever you're planting. And without those external aspects supporting it, we won't get the orange tree. We're not going to have oranges. We're not going to have the big oak tree growing from a little tiny seed. So that is definitely key. And I'll be remiss if I don't mention my religious foundation as well. God definitely played a great, the best role in my life, in my family structure, in my growth as well. So all of these things are the support system that enables us to go from this tiny little seed to a big oak tree or orange tree, giving back our fruit to the world.
Miss Davis said that she loves you. Love this family.
Yes, yes.
Love what you're doing. How you
That's
say
the
her first name?
Nalinia.
Nalinia. Man, Nalinia says she love you.
Yes,
Love
yes,
this
that's the
family.
Louisiana. Louisiana showing out today.
They showing up.
Hey, I want them to show.
They're showing up.
Hey, I want them to show up to my stuff. You listen, man, keep showing up to all our stuff. We're good people.
Yes.
And Freddie actually mentioned, he said, keep making the parish proud. Freddie Braxton mentioned that as well. And aside from that, your mom mentioned, being a family and a community of entrepreneurs, or your family is a community of entrepreneurs. How important do you feel entrepreneurship is in general in building your own? Because I feel like that's something that's left out of the conversation in our community. So what role has that played in your life and how you see, let's say, business and your own experiences?
That it plays a great role in my life, and even more than me, the community, people of color in general as well. I always preach to my siblings or my friends about there's two types of people. You can be a owner or you can be a lender, and we know the lender is slave to the borrower, or the lender is slave to the borrower. Now that's one aspect. The other aspect is you can be a creator or you can be a consumer. So these two differences, when you juggle these two situations, you have a choice of where you want to be in life. Generally, for the most part, people that are the creators and people that are the owners, they dictate what they're doing in life, where they're going in life, how society operates, the country operates. They have a lot of say so in how their life and pretty much everyone else's life, the whole world, will be. On the flip side of that, if you're a consumer and borrower for everything, you really have zero say so. You have zero say so in everything. Like, because for one, you're just a consumer, so you're not bringing anything of value to the table. All you're doing is just showing up at the table to eat. And if you want different food, if you want something else to eat, guess what? You're not cooking, so it don't matter what you want to eat. And also, being a consumer and a borrower, if you're just borrowing things, then someone else can later say, okay, I don't want to borrow to you anymore. And now you're just, out of luck, like, okay, what do I do next? So, those two things I always, ask people. And, nothing, now, don't get me wrong, nothing is wrong with being a consumer, buying things, and, that's the whole make the overall capitalistic society flow and whatnot. But when that's all you do, nothing wrong with being a borrower. But when that is all you do is borrow, and you're not able to, at the very least, lend to yourself. You don't even have to lend to everyone else around you. Lend to yourself. That is, for my life, played a pivotal role in everything that I'll be able to accomplish so far. I'm not even still in my 20s, and from NFL to masters to engineering, and working on satellites and rockets, things of that sort. A lot of things I have done have come from, once again, start with your mindset. The mindset of I will be a creator and I will be a lender, as opposed to a consumer and a borrower.
We got Alvin Musk in here. I mean, Elon Musk, but Alvin rockets too. Elon, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Musk 2.0.
Right. Musk 2.0. Somebody said Louisianimals represent.
Louisianimals, Louisianimals represent.
Hey man, somebody asked a question, Miss Patrice Johnson. She said, do you have advice for the younger generation, and any advice for people who don't have the same support system that you have, or that you had, or that you still have?
Right. So for the younger generation, if you don't have the support necessary, it will be hard. That would be the first thing I'll tell you. If you don't have the support system, it will be harder for you. So we can't dwell on it being hard. That's first and foremost. From there, you really have to figure out your why. So why is it that you want to do better in life? Why is it that you want to maybe become this career, pursue this career, or have this type of job, or go on this type of track in life? Understand deeply understand why you want to do that, because the deeper rooted your why is, the easier it will become to overcome all of the what's in life. So the what's in life are things not going to plan. I studied real hard for this exam, still failed it. Now am I really in depth or really structured on my why of, okay, I really want to pass, I need to pass this exam to get to my end destination. So if you don't have that deeply rooted in yourself, you're going to, okay, I failed it. I already spent my whole week studying for this exam, still failed. I'm not going to waste my next week and studying for the same exam. I'm going to go party. So really understand your why. There's a book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in the story, there's two brothers who have the same parents, the same dad, and one is a successful entrepreneur, very have a high influence, giving back to the community, have everything pretty much they could want, have been creating a high impact in their surroundings. And the other kid, he is not doing so well in life. He's an addict. He's staying by his parents' house and just not being involved, not creating impact in his society and his surroundings, the people he knows. And so, both brothers are interviewed, and they ask both of them, why? They ask one brother, why is it you became so successful? Why are you, just being so involved in creating a high impact in your society? And they ask the other brother, the exact same question. Why is it that you're strung out on drugs? Why are you not pursuing anything? And they both had the same answer to the question. It was because of my father. Now, both of these are brothers. Their father was also a drug addict, and didn't accomplish much as far as giving back to the community, not being on strong financial sense, strong spiritual sense. And the other one brother that followed in the father's footsteps, he just blamed the father, like, well, why you asking me? I'm a drug addict because my dad a drug addict. What else you expect? And then the other brother said, well, I'm successful. I'm able to go wherever I want and give to whoever I want because I see my father and I see him doing the exact opposite. I absolutely did not want that for myself, was one person's answer, basically. And the other brother answer was, I had no choice but to become the same. So in that is your why. Another thing, I have a lot of different sayings. You'll get to notice that. Another saying I have is, are you going to find a reason or are you going to find an excuse? Every aspect of life, those are our two choices. We're going to find a reason to overcome. Yes, it's hard. Of course it's going to be hard. But will you find a reason to overcome that, or just find an excuse to cave in to the temptation, or cave into the hardship, or cave into whatever is going on? That choice alone, only the individual can make. So,
a lot of quotables there, Alvin. Thank you so very much for dropping those jewels. For sure, this is one of those times where folks can be taking notes and reminding themselves of who they want to be and why they want to be that person, not just today, but absolutely tomorrow. So Jasmine says that somebody is preaching today. I told you, I'm not alone. I know what I'm talking about.
I wish I had my offering in my pocket. I would have money out of it.
Right. Ms. Key says, great mindset. Eric says, hashtag knowledge. And Mom obviously says, your why will determine your success. And there's also someone that is a part of the E. They want to know if you think they will play this year, but you may not be able to answer that. But that's his son plays for the E and wants to know. That's a difficult question, so you don't have to answer that. I'm thinking everybody hope they see some football out of it.
Yeah, I think everybody want to see some football. I don't think anybody knows at this point, honestly. Nobody knows besides probably the coronavirus itself. It's really, I mean, same thing with school situations, professional sports is in the same dilemma right now. So, everybody is really trying to figure out things as they go. I don't really have an answer, but, we shall see.
Heck yeah, we shall see. So as we get ready to close up a little bit, Alvin, how can people learn more about you? Where can they find and learn more about you, from your fitness, nutritional training and gatherings to working on rocket ships, man? I'm not doing enough in life. I'm gonna work harder at things.
Alvin Musk.
Alvin Musk. So how can they find you?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, #1 Scioneaux, my last name, #1 Scioneaux. You can definitely shoot me a DM or a message. I post a lot. That's probably the most active social media I'm on. I'm on Facebook as well. People have been asking me to make a YouTube. We still to be determined on that one. But you can definitely reach out to me on Instagram. Any fitness, mindset, or check out my A1 Minute as well. It's a video series on just short snippets under 2 minutes on various different topics, knowledge base from history to present to science to theology related. So it's rockets, all that good stuff. So it's everything under the sun. I'll say this real quick. I started that series because people that know me, people hang out with me. I'm always joking around. I mean, even on here, we laughing half the time. But when I look at social media, there's social media is basically is based around having fun, different dances and different songs, comedy and skits and everything, the whole nine. But I could have took that route as well. But I looked at it as it's oversaturated in the funny aspect, and then I look at the current situation, the current state of America and the world, and there's a lot that we lack. Even just the racial status of things right now in the world with Black Lives Matter and so forth. All of these problems come from a lack of knowledge and understanding. And the slogan for my A1 Minute video series is actually know better, do better, be better. You can't be better if you don't actually act better, and then you can't even act and be better if you don't know better first. So that's the initial state that we must gather. So I took that route with the A1 Minute video series, talking about everything under the sun. I started it actually the first week of January, the beginning of the year, and I plan to do it at least through the end of this year. We'll see about next year, depending on how some sponsorship or funding goes. But at least through the end of this year, to just create that lack of understanding and knowledge that creates so many problems. Like so many problems can be resolved simply if we communicated with each other better and understood each other better.
Yeah, thank you for providing that clarity.
That's one of the #1 tools in a relationship, and that's communication.
Communication is key.
Hands down. I mean, the reason why so many relationships fail is because of communication. It's just like whenever we play sports. The reason why we're able to make that tackle on the 1 yard line or go score a touchdown on that 1 yard line is because of communication. So sports really does teach you a lot of things about life, but it also teaches you a lot about yourself as well. So, man, I mean, with that, it leads me into my last question. Now, I'm saying, speaking of yourself, but I like to ask this question because I like for this show to be serious. We like to have fun, but we like to have a serious moment as well. And so that serious moment for you is that if you only have 48 hours to live, and like you said, you have a big family, and you had to sit them all down, what would be some of the advice that you would give to them? And you don't have to go down the whole road like, okay, my mama, my sister.
All right, so mama was
you know, my dad.
We're gonna need another hour for that one. So, the mama.
But like, what would you say from your heart? What would that one thing be from your heart that you want to share with them, and that will echo with them for the rest of their life?
So if I'm speaking to my family, I would definitely say, I wouldn't even tell them nothing. So when I speak to people, I usually like to get them to figure it out themselves, and kind of like how a parent does with a child or a coach does with players. You can't, or even a teacher with students, you don't necessarily give the student the answer or the player the answer, but you guide them along the track just so they can figure out themselves. In regards to my family, I would ask them, what do you want your last name to represent? Everything you do today, tomorrow, next week, next year, the rest of your life, you are representing your last name a lot more than your first name. I mean, any neighborhood you go to, especially as a kid, you go by somebody else's house, like, oh, who your people? They don't care about your name. We don't care who you are. They always ask, who your people, what's your family name, and that will tell them a lot about you because they know who you come from, they know how your parents were, and the apple usually doesn't fall too far from the tree. So when speaking with my family, I would ask them, how do you want your last name to be remembered, and make sure you live each and every day in representation of how you want that to be, because that perception will be the reality, and you determine that.
Heat. We fully believe in finishing stronger than we started, and you just put the exclamation point on that, Alvin. So I absolutely appreciate you so very much. Prince, any other final thought before we get out of here for the day?
Yeah, my final thought is, man, Alvin, you've done some incredible things. You're still doing incredible things. What is it that you see inside yourself that you want to see yourself in the future?
In the future,
yeah.
Well, me and Stan was talking earlier before we started. One thing, transition-wise, since we talked, more transitions, I'm in the process of ownership, getting some real estate, some property. That's certainly something I see myself in the future doing. And another thing is I have a guidebook. I'm working on getting my website up so that can be available to people as well. So it's the guidebook will be on how to live new as an acronym, NEW, nutrition, exercise, and wealth. And that will be one of many different ways that I want to give back to people. Nutrition is not a step by step or meal by meal. It's a lifestyle. Exercise is not just a little plan. It's a lifestyle. Wealth is mindset, and that also is not a get rich quick type of deal. It's a lifestyle. So, for me in the future, I really see myself continuing to give back, continuing to grow myself and challenge those around me while we all grow collectively, and just making a lasting impact. Legacy is a real big word for me. My last name, how I mentioned previously, as well as everybody that I associate myself with and talk to. There's a quote that says, people will not remember what you say, they won't even remember what you do, but they will remember how you make them feel. And I'll always try to just bring out the best in people as I bring out the best in myself. So that basically encompasses what my future self will entail.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I wanted to say, well, man, thank you for being honest, your honesty and everything that you talked about today. And I just want to say thank you for your family support. Like, this is awesome. Yes. I'm loving this, an air virtual hug to everybody in your family, right? Look, Stan getting hugs, Stan. Yeah, man. But like, this is beautiful, man. It's beautiful when you get a chance to see people come from a big family, and that family is so tight, so close. Because when there's that many people under one roof, the number one king should be love, and it seems like your family definitely dished that out in so many ways, and it's a reflection of it. So shout out to your family, the Scioneaux family. Thank you guys for doing an amazing job. But those are my last words. So Stan, you got it.
For sure, you all. Thank you very much for tuning in. And really, if you all enjoyed this, which I'm sure you did, or you heard something that could be beneficial to someone else, the greatest thank you of appreciation, or sign of appreciation, would be to share this at this moment in time. It'll be awesome that other folks can hear the thoughts and the conversation that we had here with Alvin. Officially, I want to say thank you, Alvin, for joining us today and sharing your story. For those of you watching, please don't forget to continue to comment and subscribe to our YouTube page, where this will actually also be. So go to the Game Beyond the Game YouTube channel, where you'll be able to watch this as well. And you can join us here next week on Game Beyond the Game Facebook Live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, be good to yourself and the others around you, and watch your world continue to change. Thank you all so very much. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.